back to Vera's View. I'm here to once again run down this week's Raw and SmackDown. It's been a hectic week in the WWE, and it's been a hectic week for me. If you haven't noticed, I decided to paint. So to you guys out there thinking about painting, my advice to you is don't. I'm living in a disaster zone. My stuff is everywhere, and I cannot wait to get everything back in order. It's just so chaotic. Anyway, I'm going to run down Raw and SmackDown anyway. I'm going to start off with Raw as usual, my first fail being The Miz. Now, the crowd was loving him this week, but that's not a hard job when you're standing in the ring next to Roman Reigns and John Cena. I could have sent a broomstick out there and it would have got cheered more than those two, so he didn't really accomplish anything. I'm really tired of The Miz, you guys. Like, I know I'm going to probably get some backlash for this, but he's just like the same thing week in, week out. All he does is this whole woe is me shtick. He's talking about all the opportunities that John Cena and others are handed, that he deserves something and he deserves that. And it's just all this whining is getting so old. It's played out, Miz. Find something else to do. My next fail is Big Cass's injury. I mean, I know he bores me to death, but I hate to see anybody go out with this, so here's wishing him a speedy recovery. 205 Live, of course, every week I say I don't want to talk about it, but I have to. The 8-man tag was brutal, and I just want to start like a little hashtag, get it trending on Twitter, the whole hashtag, put 205 Live down, because it needs to happen. It's so oversaturated right now. We're seeing him on Raw, we're seeing them on pay-per-view, we're seeing them on their own show. It's just too much. You know, this week we actually saw Tozawa versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship 3 times in 8 days. That is far too many times. Stop. My last fail for Raw is World's Most Hated Tag Team? Question mark. John Cena returned to Raw this week because he's a free agent. I don't know how or why, but he presumably wanted to call it the Big Dog. They've had a little pissing contest going on Twitter, you know, whose yard is it kind of thing. But they ended up tagging together in the main event. So my question to you guys is, what's worse, John Cena and Roman Reigns as a tag team, or them in a rivalry with each other? I know they can seemingly do little right in the eyes of most of the WWE fans, so what's worse? You let me know. My wins, though, start off with Braun Strowman when he dominated Brock Lesnar yet again, because Brock barely survived him at SummerSlam. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, but he survived. If you didn't watch the match, Brock got put through the announce table, and he got the announce table practically put through him. He somehow managed to come back after being wheeled off on a stretcher and escape with his Universal Championship, but I don't know how much longer he's going to hold on to that belt now that he has to face Braun Strowman at No Mercy. Emma versus Nia Jax was my next win for Raw. Emma backstage said that Nia wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, and that probably wasn't the best thing to say. She then got destroyed by her in a match. Nia is being built up so well. I think this is going to lead up to her facing off with Sasha Banks for the championship. It's going to be a great story, you know, the monster versus the fan favorite, you know. But what I want to know really is, who did Emma piss off? Because the last few weeks she's been doing nothing but get her ass kicked. So, ouch, I don't know what happened there. Michael Cole was one for me this week, which is strange because I'm not usually the biggest fan of Michael Cole on commentary, but he had a nice little burn against Booker T. Do the kids still even say burn anymore? Like, am I not cool for saying that? But they're talking about the Hardys. It's like, yeah, unlike them, unlike Harlem Heat, they're still in action. I was like, ouch, that had to sting a little bit. Speaking of the Hardys, they had a nice little match against the Mini Shield, and that's what I'm calling them, because Dean Ambrose is definitely going to turn on Seth Rollins before we ever see Roman Reigns join them. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, that's what I want to see more than anything. There's a lot of near falls, and it was just really entertaining, kept my attention. Shout out to Seth Poole, because he had some sweet new gear, if you didn't notice. It was very Deadpool-esque. My last win, though, for Raw was the fact that next week we're going to see Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss in a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship. I never get tired of these two going at it. I love them both so much. I do believe this will be the last time we're going to see it. Sasha came out to celebrate her victory at SummerSlam. She says, "There is no goddess in the WWE." I disagree. But there is one legit boss. Now, 5 Feet of Fury comes out because obviously she has something to say about this. She's like, you know what, Sasha, you've never successfully defended your championship, so next week you're not going to be a legit boss, you're going to be a legit loser. I really like that line. Moving on over to SmackDown Live, I only had one fail, and it wasn't really so much of a fail for me, but a fail for Baron Corbin himself, because he was chasing the WWE Championship with that Money in the Bank contract, and after he's lost it, he's now been demoted to special guest referee and possibly chasing the United States Championship. Like, talk about demotion. My wins, though, started off with Bobby Roode having a successful debut against Aiden English. Looks like SmackDown Live just got glorious. Yep, couldn't resist that one, had to throw it out there. And from a debut to a return, Shelton Benjamin is back on the blue brand. He's being paired up with Chad Gable, so we might have a little World's Greatest Tag Team 2.0 on our hands. Now, Breezango, of course, is always a win for me. They are off-duty fashion police this week. There was no fashion files, but they are quick to say to Kevin Owens, you know what, you need a special guest referee. We'll be the special guest referees. Plural. Like, I don't know how that would have worked out, but they said they make some sexy zebras, and I'm not going to disagree with them. They had really cute little matching pineapple outfits, too, if you didn't notice the print. I just thought that was hilarious. And, of course, Dolph Ziggler was back on TV this week. That was a win for me. He had a really great he had a really great promo. It was really powerful, I thought. He's talking about how the fans all want, singing. They want lights. They want fancy robes. They want women that glow in the dark. And he's going to have to give them all that next week. I don't know if it's going to go that way. That he's going to have some weird out there gimmick to try and, get the attention that he wants. But I think he might go the opposite and just strip it down, bare bones, and out-wrestle everybody like Dolph Ziggler always does. Carmella, of course, is a big win for me this week, as she always is. She tells Natalya that she's on borrowed time as champion, that her days are numbered. TikTok. And I am so excited to see two of my favorite women being highlighted on SmackDown Live like this. I'm so glad Natty got the win on Sunday, and I'm going to be really excited if they have Carmella versus Natalya as an ongoing feud for a little while. It's different to see two bad girls go at it. And my last win for SmackDown Live is the fact that Kevin Owens is most definitely going into a feud with Shane McMahon. It's so close now, I can taste it. This match is going to happen. This is the second time now that Shane McMahon has screwed over Kevin Owens as a referee. Well, screwed over in Kevin Owens' mind, and it's gonna, break out into some kind of brawl. It's gonna boil over, and they're gonna definitely have a match at the next pay-per-view, I think. That's all for this week, you guys. Please check back next week to see what happened in WWE, what I liked, what I didn't like for Raw and SmackDown. I'm Vera for the WWFu InterNetwork.